My name is Brian Jones and I'm a Division Leader for Sports Coaching and Development in the School of Sport, Tourism and the Outdoors. In terms of sports coaching, the course is designed in the same way really. It's designed around high performance coaching and it's designed around community coaching. And it's all about trying to make you as a coach better at communicating with whichever group you're working with. And it's also providing you with the knowledge and understanding and the skills that you're going to need to be effective in different environments. As part of the course, we introduce all aspects of coaching process and things like sports science, but we also do a lot around practical. So we make sure that you get out and work in environments, and we work with a lot of the local professional clubs in the area. Some of the things that you get while you're on the programme is you get an opportunity to go to Zambia and actually learn a little bit about sports development in an African nation. And also we get a trip to go to Spain and we do a warm weather training camp. So we'll give you some idea what it's like to be part of a warm weather training camp. What we do is we focus very heavily on the coaching process so that people that leave us know exactly what good coaching is and can hopefully deliver in that setting as well. We do provide coaching awards, National Governing Body Coaching Awards, not as part of the programme but additionally to it, and we encourage that people do those. The areas where I think we're strongest is that we demonstrate how we link things like performance analysis, how you evaluate your performers onto the programme, and also the fact that we offer things like trips to Zambia so that they can apply their coaching and leadership in a completely different setting. So we're exposing them to every potential context within coaching on this programme. We do a lot of teamwork. I mean, if you can imagine a sports coach, one of the most important characteristics of being a good coach is social competence. So this interpersonal communication is absolutely crucial. Wherever possible, we have projects where we get people working, or they take on a role, and we get them working very closely together to try and solve specific problems. So it's something that we really encourage. It's a strong feature of the programme, and we're not afraid to get people working as teams. Okay, there's two state-of-the-art facilities that we have at the university. One is Preston Sports Arena. It's a phenomenal outdoor training centre, and we use that for all our practical delivery. We also have a strength and conditioning suite down at Preston Sports Arena, which we're now using a lot more of, and we're actually getting a lot of interest from local football clubs and local rugby clubs, and our students are delivering to those clubs, which is fantastic. And we've also got a world-class performance analysis suite at the university, where we have all the latest match analysis software, and we have all the latest motion analysis software that we use on the course, but we also use with all of the clubs in the area as well. One of the things we've tried to do is match the environment to what you'd see in the real world. So, for example, from the high performance end of coaching, what we've got at the university is as good, if not better, than the facilities that you'd see in professional settings around the region. From a community end, the facilities in the real world, they're not that great, and that's part of the problem. So it's about applying the environmental constraints that you're going to be exposed to in the community and making sure that you make the most of that in the setting. So certainly from a high performance point of view, we can match, if not better, the top professional clubs in the region. We give a lot of support to our students. We have very much of an open door policy, so if anybody does need to see us, they would normally make an appointment, but we're always there for them. So in terms of support, they get a hell of a lot, and one of the things that they're very happy about is that the professional coaches and athletes that come in also give their contact details, and they're not afraid to contact them, which is fantastic, and it's great that the professional coaches are preferred to answer them as well. So what they do after graduation, a lot of the time they know exactly what they're going to be doing because we give them the opportunity to practice during the course. So for example, I'll give you an example of a person down at Preston North End who's Aaron Briggs. He was a student on the sports coaching degree, and in the second year did some experiential learning with Preston North End, then went into the third year and did some consultancy work for Preston North End, and at the end of that was taken on. And we tend to find that a lot of our students are primed in the second and third year of the programme. We do offer the sports coaching degree as a sandwich course, so in the second to third year we send them out to clubs so they get a full year's employment with the club, and what we tend to find is that they end up going back in after the final year in employment there. Well, the thing that they really enjoy are the links from theory to practice. They now understand why they do what they do, and we also bring in a lot of expertise. So we bring in a lot of lecturers, well, professional sports people and professional coaches to come in and explain, well, this is how I do it, and I think that appeals. And in the past, we've had quite a few people get jobs on the back of the work that these professionals have done when they've come in. So we've got quite a few people embedded in a lot of the football clubs and rugby clubs in the area as a consequence of the people that we bring in. Probably the biggest thing that we develop on this program, because it's an absolutely critical component of being a good quality coach, is social competence. So their ability to communicate needs to be excellent, and that's not just in terms of being able to speak in big groups and small groups, but it's also being able to listen. Very organised as well, because some of the requirements of being a good quality coach is you need to be organised, you need to plan, you need to be prepared. And one of the things that we do definitely see from year 1 through to year 3 is that change. One of the things we have on the programme is a personal development plan that runs right through the 3 years, and we invest quite a lot of time and energy into making sure that they identify where they're at when they arrive, and their development plan through to when they graduate. On the programme, we do offer the provision of learning a foreign language, and that can be really useful to the students because we do go on foreign trips throughout the programme. We have a trip to Zambia, as I've discussed. The trip to Zambia is largely how sport is being used to deal with issues around HIV and unfortunately child abuse in that particular part of Africa. And that's a major eye-opener for the students in terms of the culture within Africa. It's completely different to the culture on our doorstep in Preston. Similarly, we have a trip to Spain where we use a Spanish high-performance training centre where we give students an empathy of what it's like to be on a high-performance, warm-weather training camp. And the place we go, it's incredibly Spanish, so you have to learn a little bit about the language, and obviously you're eating the food there. There's no McDonald's, which is great. We've just validated a Masters in Sports Coaching, and the point of that is really people place glass ceilings on themselves to say they get to the end of a 3-year degree and they think they've got everything they need to go on and be really successful. And what we try and encourage is that learning never stops. You know, they've just done a focused 3 years of study or 4 years of study if they do the sandwich degree, but they should continue to learn. And one of the things by putting the Masters on now is that we're giving even more higher level understanding of sports coaching, but we're also, as part of that Masters, really getting them to think outside the box and come up with new delivery methods, new tools, new things that they can do to actually become better coaches in the future. But we do have students that have now graduated and have developed their own businesses in the local area, certainly community-based businesses. And what we're finding is that they're coming to me now and asking for volunteers or for people in the second year to go in and work for them. So it serves a purpose to the student who's graduating in that they're getting a service for relatively nothing. And also the students on the programme are getting some high quality experiences with someone who's gone through the programme themselves. So we're actually involving alumni quite a bit in some of the teaching, but we're certainly getting our students involved in some of the local projects with our graduates. My background, I originally did a degree in sports science and decided to specialise in sports psychology, where I worked for the Sports Council for a while with some specific sports to develop my trade. Then I moved on to the British Olympic Association Psychology Advisory Group, where I did some work with athletics in particular. That led to working in a variety of different sports, but one that really honed my skills was rugby league, where I worked with coaches that won grand finals and things like that. I was offered a full-time job as a fitness conditioner with a Super League team, and I stayed with them for 4 years. Sports coaching it is an incredibly practical course, although there is a lot of theory in there. But one of the things about sports coaching is that if you're in a role where you're being asked to develop or manage somebody, then sports coaching can offer an incredible amount of things. It will develop you as a leader, it will develop your social competence and your ability to communicate effectively, but also that the subject matter is interesting. You know, you're dealing with sport and you'll be communicating with potentially Premier League managers who'll be teaching on the programme, at different stages. So from that point of view, it's very exciting, very interesting, very stimulating, and also you're going to develop an awful lot of skills in the process. I've worked at a few institutions now, and UCLan is probably the best served in terms of supporting its student body. From an academic point of view, there are services like WISER, which I think is an outstanding service. We do some work with the British Army, and most of the people that we work with haven't written reports since they left school. And the nice thing is that we can send those Army students to the WISER, and the support they get from them is outstanding. So fantastic service. But in terms of the wider student support, some of the things that we offer here in terms of career opportunities, in terms of coordinating accommodation, we've even got our own supermarket on campus, which I think is pretty impressive, and a great nightclub as well. I forgot to mention the social side there. It's a great bar, great nightclub, and you're not a million miles from Preston here.